Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another FIFA 22 video where today I'm going to be sharing with you 3 common midfield mistakes and how to fix them. So these are 3 common mistakes that I have seen when I've been watching people's gameplay just in general, or watching a few viewers their gameplay. And these are some of the most common midfield mistakes that I see in games, and I'm going to be sharing with you how to fix them and what you need to do to fix these issues that will hopefully improve your play in the midfield. Now, if you'd like to see one for defense and attack, do let me know down in the comment section. Now, one thing that's really important is being able to control that midfield. Obviously, you don't want to be giving up cheap possession. You want to try and have a really high pass accuracy. For me, I was trying to aim for around about 60% possession in my midfield, and also try and have around about a 92+% pass accuracy. If you're sort of around that, you're doing a brilliant job. If you're someone who's maybe struggling a little bit in the midfield and you may be having sort of 50% possession, 52%, and your pass accuracy is down at around 82%, hopefully these mistakes are probably some mistakes that you may be making, and will hopefully rectify some of those mistakes and help you up that possession and up that pass accuracy so you can become a little bit more efficient in the midfield. But without further ado, going into the attack, let's start with attacking midfielders. Now, one of the first things that I see a lot of people do is something like this. They maybe get the ball out with their fullbacks, and they maybe try and force either just a simple A pass into the striker, or maybe try and bang a through ball into the space. And this is something I see happen a lot, and it is effective from time to time if you have the right players, if you have the right angle, but the majority of the time it doesn't work. Now, in this example, you can see we've got Alex Tellers obviously trying to force the ball into Jamie Vardy, but you can see that Vardy is already making the run, and you can see that Fernandez is coming across. So Fernandez, because the opponent is controlling the midfielder, he's coming across trying to intercept the ball, and because my AI is going one way, he's controlling it. He can see I'm going to pass to, so he's always going to intercept this ball. And this is something I see a lot of people doing. You can see in the end, the play does break down. Now, I see that happen a lot. A lot of people try and force the ball into their strikers, into their attacking players, and try and get forward as fast as possible. And then it ends up leading to us going 1-0 down in this situation. So one thing that I would say that you need to do to fix this is just to maybe take that extra second just to think before you pass. Now, again, we're in the same position on the fullback with Pereira this time up the right hand side. Now, again, most people would try and drill this probably into the striker, into Gabriel Jesus there. Now, obviously, again, you don't want to make the same mistake again. You can see the midfielder is getting across. He's dragging one of his players back, and there's another player there, and the fullback is there. So there's 3 players that have the opportunity to potentially intercept this pass. So this is like a low percentage pass. The chance of this succeeding is very low. Obviously, if it does come off, obviously you've taken 3 of his players out of the game. But when it's a low percentage pass, the smart thing to do is to just put your foot on the ball, turn around and keep possession. And you can see that's exactly what we do. Put our foot on the ball, keep possession. We end up going and just maintaining the possession of the play and just keep hold of the ball. So that's something that I think is really important. Don't try and force the pass into your striker. Take the extra touch and just keep possession. Always make sure you're making those high percentage passes. Now, moving on to the defensive side of the ball, this is again something, the second most common mistake that I see a lot of people do is they don't track runners with their midfield. You can see in this example here, already switched into our centre-back, Militao. Now, this is really bad. You can see Cristiano Ronaldo has already ran off the back of, I think it's Fede Valverde. So he's already running off the back. I'm already controlling the centre-back. So what do most people do? Most people are going to try and drag the centre-back into try and cover the pass. What you should be doing is actually using Valverde to track the run. If Valverde can't catch up with Ronaldo, he doesn't have enough pace or whatever it may be, eventually you'll have to switch into your centre back. But right now, you do not need to switch into your centre back. You should be covering with your midfielder, and I don't see enough people do this. A lot of people instantly switch into their centre backs, drag the centre back out, and then it's just a simple 1-2, and then people can easily get in behind. That's exactly what happens. Rashford into Ronaldo, back to Rashford, and then just a simple through pass to Ronaldo, and then a smash across, and then it's Fernandez just taps it in really easily. So a really simple way to do this is, as I said, the thing to do is you need to be using your midfielders as much as possible. The only time you ever really need to be switching into your centre backs is when maybe the ball's in the box. Anything before that, you really want to be trying your best to just use your midfielders to cut everything out. Try and always use your mids to really try and cut the passing lanes and try and do a better job in those areas, because I don't see enough people tracking runners with their midfielders. You know, I see a lot of people that do try and drag the centre backs in, and that's going to really leave a lot of easy goals for anybody who's half decent. And you can also see that how you can maintain attacks as well if you are tracking with your midfielders to try and intercept those passes. And then the third and final common midfield mistake that I do see a lot is I see a lot of people that don't do a good enough job at trying to cut passing lanes. I see a lot of people that do sort of get stuck in between. They don't know whether to sit off and just let the opposition have lots of possession, or they don't know whether to try and go really aggressive and try and sort of go high press. Now, what I would say is it depends on the situation. This is more about reading the game. Now, in this example here, you can see Valverde is out of position and he's not going to be able to get back in. Now you're kind of only left with Pogba, who's there to defend. So the smart thing to do is not to now go in with Pogba and try and win the ball. It's just to sit back, let Valverde try and get back in position, still control Pogba, move him around, but you don't need to go in. You can see what happens is a lot of people do this. They go in with the next player, and then it leaves even more space, and then can lead to potentially a goal. In this occasion, a good fake shot by my opponent, and he managed to make the save, my goalkeeper. But one thing that I don't see enough people do is they don't see enough people that actually try and cut passing lanes. A lot of people wonder which way they should do. Should they go? Should they stay? Now it depends. If you have a player that's out, if you're in a good shape, always try and cut the passing lanes. If one of your players is out of position because maybe he's got forward, maybe he's got drifted out to the wing, the best thing to then do is not try and cut the passing lanes. Let your players get back into the shape. So if your team is in shape and they're in a good shape, you're playing a 4-2-3-1, let's say your two DMs are in a good position, always try and cut the passing lanes. Get across. Try and always predict. Now, the thing to do with cutting passing lanes, you have to put yourself in the attacking shoes. You have to think, if I was in his position right now, who would I be looking to pass to? And that's the lane that you need to cover. So you need to put yourself in the opponent's shoes and think about where do I think they would pass the ball? Okay, I think he's going to pass it there. And that's, of course, then where we do go and we make the interception. So that's what you need to do. You need to put yourself in the attacking mindset of where my opponent is, and that's the passing lane that I need to try and cover. So in terms of common midfield mistakes, these are three of the most common that I came across when watching other people's gameplay. Sometimes as well, watching my own gameplay. And it's good to be self-critical of your own gameplay if you have the ability to watch your own gameplay back, and you will see some of the mistakes you'll make, and that's what's then going to make you a better player. So if you would like to see us do this sort of breakdown for the defense and also for the attack, do let me know in the comment section down below. If you can really try and improve these things, if any of these three things do apply to you at the moment, then obviously hopefully you've seen a bad example of what maybe you do, and then a good example of what you maybe need to do to try and fix it. And if you can just make these tweaks, you'll be a lot better in possession. Obviously controlling possession, having a high pass accuracy is going to lead to more chances. You're going to give the ball away a lot less, which is going to mean less chances for your opponent. So it's naturally going to improve your game, and naturally it's going to have a positive impact on your game. So if you want to see us do this for the defensive and the attacking third, do drop a thumbs up. It would be much appreciated. Let us know down in the comments if that's something you want to see. Make sure to subscribe as well if you are new to the channel and have enjoyed the content today. But that is all for today, guys. Have an awesome day. I'm out.